which is always what happens. We get hungry. But instead of that more, to actually be in a space of what's the voice of that pleasure speaking through you. When you're in this ecstatic space, what is the message that wants to come through? So it may be a sound, it may be a message, it may be an image. You know, we gave the story the other night in our circle about how Melodoma Some, the African Dagara shaman, our elder, talks about the gatekeepers in his tribe and how they go into their caves and they touch each other and do all kinds of touch to open up, not just to touch one another or to be an object of each other's affection, but to actually open up to an ecstatic space where they welcome the ancestors to speak to them. And getting into their ritual of ecstasy, they are inviting then the messages to come through for themselves and for the tribe. So as queer men especially, you know, we know a lot about touching each other. We know a lot about bodies and waking those bodies up, but taking it that next step of actually waking our bodies up so that they can be somehow prophetic, that they can bring forth a vision. You know, I love on our Ning site, our brother, I think Dirk is his name, and lives in the UK. And Dirk's been telling us about his vision to create a healing center for gay men, for queer men to come and receive holistic care. And to receive holistic care that would include things like maybe an ecstatic massage or some erotic touch. I mean, how prophetic is that? To think that we don't cut that part of ourselves off, but we incorporate it into keeping us alive and awake and having a voice. So his vision is prophetic, and his vision also holds in it some modalities that I think are really prophetic for the world. You know, if there was more erotic energy being expressed today in safe and sacred ways, we'd have less wars. We'd have less people wanting to, you know, fight each other about things, because it's kind of like the other prophetic image that our beloved Don Clark used a lot was the bonobos. Mm-hmm. So you know, they're the chimpanzees who get really aggressive with each other and pretty territorial when it comes to feeding and sharing and not sharing. And then there are the bonobos, and the bonobos are the same species and yet slightly different, and they're really communal. And so they'll touch each other and they'll share their food and they'll have sex with each other and across genders, and just, you know, and without thinking, they're bringing their expressions of love. What a prophetic model for us as queer people.
It sounds fine, except for sharing the food.
Sharing the food, I know.
I don't want to do that.
I know, yeah. Well, sharing the food may be part of your healing.
Oh no, but
yes.
No.
So there may be a little bit of work left for him to do, but you get the idea. So what's it mean to be prophetic? And we're going to have really a lot of fun, but we're going to come into a level of intentionality around using erotic energy, or using pleasure, using sound and voice. You know, there's a book I'd highly recommend reading that's called The Healing Power of the Human Voice. And we're going to play with using our tones and our chants with each other, but to use them in some really tactile ways that kind of open up the energies with each other. I know you had an experience once where you actually created a ritual where brothers touched you while you actually played.
Yes, I did that ritual in Hawaii.
Yes, and so, you know, really opening up to what might be the expression. So don't be scared by the idea, but come in just being open and available to, like, what might Spirit want to do through me while I'm in extreme pleasure. You know, it reminds me, I'll finish up with our sister community and of Flesh and Spirit for Women, and our beloved Barbara Buckley, who was doing workshops with Isa Magdalene around dare to receive. You know, we're really asking you, brothers, to dare to receive. And not dare to receive to give back, not dare to receive to actually connect and see brothers as objects of your affection, but dare to receive so that you can vibrate in a new vibration and bring forth a prophetic vision, a prophetic voice and message, a prophetic way of being. So hope this is juicy enough for you that we can put on the airways for right now. And we'd love to see many of you come to our Prophet Workshop July 16th, and there'll be information at the end for you to sign up.
Yes.
All right, beloveds.
Bye.
Great to be with you.